everyone, welcome to this 4-part action plan. In the part 1 of the LinkedIn client acquisition system, we need to figure out the niche clarity, second, find the relevant leads, and third, look at how we can create the transformation offer. Okay, so let's go ahead and understand each one of them in detail. Now, very first thing that we should understand is what is a niche, right? A niche generally is a specialized segment of a market that you can serve exceptionally well, allowing you to stand out from the competition and attract the right audience. Okay, so it is a niche segment of a market that you can serve exceptionally well given your talent, your expertise, and your interest, thus allowing you to create authority or a competitive advantage and hence making you stand out from the competition. Yes, and this then therefore leads you to attract the right audience and grow that niche successfully. Now there are a few benefits of niching down. Okay, one is A, you'll be able to have reduction in competition. B, you'll be better able to understand the customers. Third is the increased expertise, right? Because since you're focusing on a specialized segment of a market and giving them a specialized services, so which means you'll be researching more on that specific services, how you can make it better for the clients, and therefore this will lead to increased expertise, and hence also it will lead to improved brand recognition, right? Because since you're serving a niche market, more and more people from that niche industry will come to know about you, about the skill set that you have, about how you're bringing transformation in the life of the clients in that particular niche, right? And hence that would lead to improved brand recognition, and finally it will also lead to easier decision making, right? Because since you'll be prioritizing resources, times, efforts that directly align with your niche. Now, there is a 3-step process of finding out and knowing your right niche. Okay, so in this 3-step process, what you can do is you can understand your passions or interests or expertise and figure out the overlap between your passion, interest, and expertise. Then understand the target audience well, create a relevant value proposition, and there you go, you'll be able to know and find the right niche and what exactly are you trying to serve to that specific niche. Now what you can do is get out your notebook or open a Google Docs, a blank document, and now the very first thing that you should do is write about your passions. Okay. Now think about the activities or topics or causes that ignite a sense of excitement and fulfillment within you, right? Now these are the topics or the causes that you would love to do and you're deeply passionate about. So list those passions down in your notebook. Okay. Once you have listed down your passions, then comes the interest, right? Now consider the subjects, the industries, or the trends that generally captivate your attention, right? And curiosity. Now, these are the areas where you find yourself seeking more knowledge and trying to stay updated on what is happening with the latest trends, right? So these are your interests. Please write your interests down. So once you've written down your interest and your passions, then third is your areas of expertise. Now reflect on your skills, your knowledge, and your experiences that sets you apart and makes you uniquely qualified in certain areas. Now these are the areas of expertise that you should write it down in your notebook. Okay, so once you have written down this passion, interest, and expertise, now based on this passion, interest, and expertise, try to figure out the overlap. Okay, where exactly is the overlap that you are seeing in the passion, interest, and expertise? So now this is the exact overlap that you would be looking to serve in the market. Okay, this is what would later on transform into your transformative offer that you want to offer in this specialized segment of the market, which would be your niche. Now let's look at a few of the examples of this overlap. If your passion is data analytics, interest is healthcare industry, and your expertise is in data analyst, then your overlap could be data analyst focusing on healthcare data analysis, providing valuable insights for healthcare organizations. Similarly, in case you are in the marketing space, right? So, and your passion is marketing, your interest is in social media strategy, and your expertise again is social media marketing, then your overlap could be social media marketing specialist helping businesses optimize their online presence through data-driven social media campaigns. Based on a passion, interest, and expertise, you can figure out the right overlap that you can use to serve a specific niche. Now, once you have figured out this overlap, the next important thing is the target audience understanding. Now, based on your self-reflection, you should think about the type of audience that aligns with your passion and expertise, right? You could ask yourself the question, right? Who would benefit the most from exactly what you have to offer, right? When you ask this question down, try and write down all the relevant audiences segment that you think would benefit from what you have to offer in the market. So in that specific notebook or a Google Doc where you are maintaining your passion, interest, expertise, and overlap, there write down what comes to your mind in terms of the target audience who would benefit the most from the offer. Now then you might ask, how do I find them? How do I find these people, right? Or how do I know more about these people? Very first thing is you can conduct interviews, surveys, you can go into social media, figure out more social media insights about these specific target niche. And you can also look into the customer feedback. If you already have an existing customer, you can get their feedback. One of the things that we do in our company is when we figure out the target niche, we reach them on LinkedIn using our in-house something called LinkedIn research method, right? Which is nothing but we try and find them on LinkedIn, then we send them a message on LinkedIn that, hey, look, we are trying to conduct some surveys or conduct some online studies on the specific topic, which is generally what we are going to serve to a specialized segment, and would like to conduct some interviews with you, right? When we conduct that interview, we compile all the list and then we send it out to them saying that, hey, look, this is what we have compiled from all our studies. Now, would you like us to serve you, right? This is another method that you can use as well to know more about the relevant niche or the relevant target audience which you think could benefit the most from your offer, right? So once you have figured out this target audience, you have got a more understanding of this target audience. The next important thing for you is to create a value proposition. Okay, so what exactly is this value proposition? In case of a value proposition, what you need to do is you need to craft a clear and compelling value proposition that communicates how you can solve your target audience's pain points and why they should choose to work with you. Therefore, it is very, very important that in the value proposition that you have, the niche should feel that you are addressing their pain points, right? Now, once you do that, they would start connecting more with you. An example of the value proposition could be, I help health conscious individuals achieve their fitness goals by providing personalized nutritional plans and expert guidance as a certified nutritionist, right? And here, this certified nutritionist is taking care of the fears and the pains of health conscious individuals by providing a personalized nutrition plans based on the requirement of these health conscious individuals so that they can achieve the fitness goal. So this is exactly how you can also craft your value proposition. So again, the process to knowing a right niche is you should list down your passions, interests, expertise, figure out the overlap between them, do a detailed understanding of your target audience, correct, and then write down the value proposition that you think is important and what you are going to offer based on the overlapping passion and interest to this specific specialized niche. So once you have created this niche identification worksheet, it is very, very important to then find this niche on LinkedIn. So let's look at how we can find this specific niche on LinkedIn. So let's look at how we can find this specific niche on LinkedIn. So there are two ways to do that. Now, to be able to find the right niche on LinkedIn, we need to learn both about how we can do a company search and how we can do a lead search on LinkedIn. So let's go ahead and look at that. So to do a company search and find the right companies on LinkedIn, we need to go to this URL, which is linkedin.com/search/results/companies. The moment you open this URL, you'll find this button called all filter. Please click on that and you will find the different filters which is available for searching companies on LinkedIn, right? The very first thing that you can see is the location. So based on the identity worksheet that you might have created, in the target audience segment, you would have mentioned something like the target in the location where your niche might be present or you're looking to reach them out for, right? So based on the identity worksheet target location, what you can do is you can write the target location here on LinkedIn search. Okay, so in LinkedIn you can search either by a city name or by a state name or by the country name, right? For example, let's I can type Mumbai, which is city in India, or I can type Maharashtra, which is a state in India, or I can type the entire country to find out the relevant companies for my niche from the entire country of India, right? So once I've entered, let's say, the relevant location, the next is the relevant industry. Now this is the industry of your target company. Always remember this. This is not the industry that you are in, but this is the industry of the target niche where you want to offer your products and services. Okay, so based on that, type the industry name where you want to be present and you want to give your products and services. So let's assume manufacturing for now. Okay, then is the company size. Now again, based on the niche identification worksheet which you might have created for yourself, correct, figure out the right type of the company that you want to reach. Now in this case, generally you can classify the companies as a small company, a mid-sized company, or an enterprise company, right? A small company generally would ideally have anywhere from 1 to 10 employees, correct, or 11 to 50 employees, right? A mid-sized company would have anywhere from 51 to 200 employees or 201 to 500 employees. Now you might consider 201 to 500 employees to be an enterprise as well, right? That's completely depending on how you identify a small, medium, or an enterprise companies, right? And anything beyond that is definitely an enterprise or a larger enterprise companies. So basis the type of company you want to reach, you can select the relevant company size here, correct? Then is the job listing on LinkedIn. So if you are an HR professional, now this might be relevant for you if you're trying to find out all the companies who have already listed a job. So any company who have listed a job could be your target client if you are also someone who wants to tie up with these companies to start offering your specialized services to this specific company to find the right candidates for the open job postings, right? But other than that, if you're not from the HR company, you can largely ignore this as well. Okay. Now connections, first connections. Now if you are only looking for companies who whose employees might already be a connection of you, then in that case, please select this. But if you want to do a search on the entire LinkedIn database, just ignore this and then click on show results. When you put these relevant filters on LinkedIn, then you can figure out the right niche that you want to reach to people on LinkedIn. If you want to further niche them down, what you can do is based on the niche identification worksheet that you might have created for yourself, you would find important keywords which will help you further niche down these specific filters. Now, let's assume that you're only looking for sugar manufacturers, right? So after this filter, I might type sugar here, right? So what this will do is filter out only those companies who are in the sugar manufacturing business. Now, if you look at this, the results went down from 20,000 to just 97 results, right? Now, again, if I want to further filter them down, I might say, okay, I'm only looking for companies who are in the 11, who have at least 11 to 50 employees, right? So this will further filter my results down to 58 from 97. So this is how you can find your relevant niche companies on LinkedIn. So once you've figured out the right company that you want to reach, then what you can do is you can figure out who is the right person in those companies that you want to reach out to. Okay, now to do that, what we can go do is we can need to go to this search results called linkedin.com/search/results/people. Now this will enable us to find the right people that we want to reach out to. Okay, so once you go to this particular URL, again click on all filters in this URL. The moment you click on all filters, LinkedIn will throw up a list of the filters which is available for you to find the relevant people. Now let's go through these filters one by one. Now connections filter, first, second, or third connection. Now if you want to filter people based on whether they are in the first connection, second connection, or third plus connection, then you use this filter. Otherwise, if you want to search on the entire LinkedIn database, I recommend that you can ignore this as well, right? So connections off filter. So if you want to filter based on the connections of any one of your first connection, then use this filter. Else, if you want to search on the entire LinkedIn database, we can avoid using this filter. Okay. Followers of filters. Again, if you want to filter people based on the follower of a specific creator on LinkedIn, right? Now what LinkedIn has done is they have come up with something called a creator profile. Okay. So anyone can go ahead and create a creator profile. Now, if you want to put a filter based on the specific creator, then what you will do is you'll go ahead and search that creator. For example, let's say if I want to filter people based on, for example, let's assume that I want to filter based on the followers of Bill Gates. Okay, so I'll search for Bill Gates and then select Bill Gates. Then once I do that, what will LinkedIn will do is whatever filter I applied after this or I've applied before this, it will only be applied and further niche down only on the followers of Bill Gates. Okay. The next is the location filter. Now again, if you want to filter people based on a specific city, state or a country, you can go ahead and do that as well here. Okay, and it will directly filter based on those locations. Always go ahead, look at your niche identification worksheet, figure out what locations you want to operate, and based on that, you put the relevant location filter here. Now talks about filter. Now, as I said earlier, that LinkedIn has this creator profile option. Now, whoever creates a creator profile, they have at least 5 topics that they can select for their profile, right? Now, based on these 5 topics, LinkedIn is giving here an option to search for them, right? So if you're looking for specific, let's say people who is an authority or want to build an authority on LinkedIn on marketing, right? Or who talks more about or writes more about marketing on LinkedIn, then you can go ahead and select marketing, and LinkedIn will only filter those people whose A, profile is a creator profile, and B, is talking more about marketing on LinkedIn. Okay. Next filter is the current company filter. Now, we have just figured out how we can find the relevant companies that we want to reach out on LinkedIn, right? Now, if you want to filter and find people only in these companies, then what you can do is click on add a company, search the company name and select those companies. And then once you click on show results later on, based on whatever filters you have applied before and after this, LinkedIn will throw up only those people who are relevant for you to reach out in these companies. Okay. Now, past company filter, if you want to filter people based on where they have worked in the past, then you can click and add the company names here, and whoever have worked in the past in these companies will be listed here for you in the search results by LinkedIn. Okay. Next is the school filter. Now, if you want to filter people based on the specific school, college or university that they have attended to, then you can go ahead and use this school filter. Now, so next is the industry filter. Now, another very, very important filter, right? So here again, you will select the industry of the potential lead whom you are willing to go ahead and serve. There's a important thing that I would like to mention here. So if you've already put the industry filter to find out the relevant companies and then adding the companies here, no need to then put the industry filter here. Otherwise, it will overlap the results and give you a very small narrow result. But if you have not put the company names here, then I would recommend that you please go ahead and add the relevant industry in which you think your potential clients would be there, so that you can serve your expertise and give your transformative offer to that specific leads in those industries. Okay. Then profile language, English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and German. Now LinkedIn by default gives this profile language. I recommend that you just avoid this particular filter. Open to pro bono consulting and volunteering, and joining a non-profit board. Now this is generally important for people who are looking for consultants for free, or from a NGO standpoint who are looking for people to join a non-profit board, right? So if you think that these are the options that you are looking for, then please go ahead and use this filter. Otherwise, avoid this filter when doing a larger lead search. Service category filter. Now, in LinkedIn, there's an option called providing services section. We'll cover this in the part 2 segment of our course here. In the providing service section, you can mention the services that you provide. Now, if you're looking to filter people who provide a specific service and they've mentioned that in the providing service section, what you will do is go ahead and select that specific service. And what LinkedIn will do is LinkedIn will filter all those people who have mentioned that specific service in the providing services section. Okay, but mind you guys, not everyone knows about the providing service section. So there could be a chance that while you are able to filter and razor focus on a specific niche, you might miss out some of the important leads of your niche who might not have mentioned anything in their providing services section. And finally is the keywords filter section. Now this is a very, very important filter section. Now here what you can do is under title, you can filter people based on what they have, keyword they have mentioned in the title or the headline of the LinkedIn page. For example, let's say if I mention right here marketing, this only filter people who has the keyword marketing present on their profile, headline or the title. Now here you can further niche them down using 3 important booleans or operators and moderators, right? For example, let's say if I want to filter people who has a keyword, either the keyword marketing all the keyword digital present in the profile, then I'll mention marketing or digital. Now this will filter all those people who have the keyword either marketing or the keyword digital mentioned in the profile, right? Second important operator is called and, A and D in capital letters. So now if I mention marketing and digital, in this case LinkedIn will filter all those people in whose profile the keyword digital is also mentioned and the keyword marketing is also mentioned. Now there is a third important boolean which is called not, N-O-T, not, right? What this will do in this case is if I write marketing not digital, this would mean that LinkedIn will filter all those profiles in whose headline of the title the keyword marketing is mentioned but the keyword digital is not mentioned, right? So you can use this boolean which is or, and not to further niche down and find the relevant people on LinkedIn. Now remember, you're doing all of this without spending a single dollar on ads, right? No need to spend money to get leads. You can find it all for free on LinkedIn just like that. So once you have figured out how to find the relevant companies on LinkedIn and the relevant niche on LinkedIn, that is the relevant leads on LinkedIn, next is to figure out your USP. What is the USP, unique selling point, that you have that you are going to offer to this specific niche on LinkedIn. Now, before we start creating a USP, it is important for us to craft a user persona based on the niche that we have just figured out. You can craft a user persona by creating a user persona worksheet and answering questions like persona name, background, goals and motivations, challenges and pain points of that specific user persona, the communication preferences, the user behavior of the persona, like how do they research the person's services, how do they make purchase decisions, what is the typical online behavior, any influencers or opinion leaders they follow, and what is their hobbies and interest. Now similarly, we can create few more user personas by answering such questions based on the niche that we have just figured out. Now once this user persona worksheet is ready, it is important for us to get into the understanding of creating a strong, unique selling proposition. Now, a strong, unique selling proposition not only would attract the potential customers, but would also help you to retain the existing ones. Now, by crafting a unique and a strong USP, you can communicate your brand's uniqueness effectively, build a loyal customer base, and definitely boost your business growth, right? So the first step in creating this strong USP is finding the gap in the market. To do that, we need to identify who the main competitors are within this market. These can be the direct competitors offering similar products or services, as well as the indirect competition providing alternative solutions, right? So once you've identified them, it is important to analyze their service offerings along with the pricing strategy. Now, here is an example of the service offering analysis of for a digital marketing agency. Now, if you look at the screen, you will see that for each competitor, the main products and service offerings are mentioned, along with the key features and the unique selling point. Now, this is exactly what you have to do for your own niche. Okay, figure out the different competitors for your niche, figure out the important service offerings for them, what are the important features and their unique selling point. Now, if you look at Digital Pro India, it focuses on social media management and SEO services and services, e-commerce, retail and education industry, and the core expertise is data-driven marketing strategies, right? Such kind of research helps us to gain a deep understanding of our market. Now, post this, once we have figured this out, it is important that we should also look at the pricing strategy and method for each of these competitions. Now, once the service offering research is done on the competition, then it is important to do a SWOT analysis. Now, SWOT analysis plays a very, very crucial role in identifying the exact gaps that we are looking to find in the market. Now, if you look at the SWOT analysis of a digital marketing agency, if you look at this, the Digital Pro India, the main strengths are data-driven marketing and industry expertise, while their weakness is limited focus on SMEs and startups. Their opportunities are they can expand into SMEs and startup market, and the threats are increasing competition from new entrants. Now, such kind of detailed SWOT analysis for each of the competitors that you have in your own market will help you understand the true gap that is lying in the market when you look at the weaknesses, opportunities that each of the competitors have, which you can then look at and include into your own strategy, right? That will help you understand what are the important things that you should have in your strategy as well as your offer when you're looking to serve that particular niche market. So once you have done the SWOT analysis and the understanding of the service offerings, you need to figure out and pinpoint the right factors which is important for you and will differentiate your offerings from your competitors. Now, these factors could be either based on product features, either expertise, customer support. It could be based on pricing, industry focus, or innovative technologies. Now, once you have figured the right factors which is relevant for you that will differentiate you, your offering from your competitors, try and rate each of your competitors' service and your own service offerings based on those factors. Now, when you do that, you'll be able to figure out the differentiation between the factors and the USP that you should have in your offerings. Here, the idea of all these exercises is to figure out the unique selling proposition that will differentiate you from your competitors, and it should be reflected in your offering. Now, once we have got the niche clarity, we have found them on LinkedIn, we have pinpointed the USP. Next step is to create a transformative offer. Now, a transformative offer is an offer that makes your potential client sit up and take notice. It should want them to know more about what you have to offer, more about the details of your offer. Okay, so now there's certain science to creating a transformative offer, right? It can be divided into 4 parts. Let's look at them one at a time. Now, the first is the offer should contain a dream outcome. Okay, so what is it that you're promising, the actual benefits of the offer? Now, the dream outcome should directly align with your customers' core problems and aspirations. Okay, the second aspect of the offer is the delivery or the mechanism. How will you deliver the dream outcome? That is the mechanism of promise fulfillment. Now, it is it going to be a done for you service, a done with you service, a coaching mechanism, or an online course, right? So there could be different mechanisms for delivering this specific dream outcome. And that forms the second part of the offer, which should mention the delivery. The third part of the offer is that the client should believe in the perceived likelihoodness of achieving the dream outcome. So the client should believe that the dream outcome that is being promised in the offer through this specific mechanism is likely to be achieved, right? Now, this generally is done via evidence of past success and social proof, which you can give in the offer details, right? And finally is the time to value. That is the duration in which the dream outcome can be achieved and the efforts that will be required from the client's end to make it happen. So these form the 4 important crucial part of the transformative offer, which is the dream outcome mechanism, the perceived likelihoodness of the dream outcome being achieved, and the exact time to value. Now, all of this has to be communicated in the offer, and this can be summarized into this offer structure of I help A do B using C in D. For example, I help business professionals generate high quality leads so that they can close more deals and achieve unprecedented sales success using advanced LinkedIn sales strategies in 60 days or less. Now let's break this down and understand the same as well, right? So I help A. Okay, now here A is a niche. In this case, it is a business professional, right? So I help business professionals. Do B. Now here B is the dream outcome. Okay, that is generate high quality sales lead so that they can close more deals and achieve unprecedented sales success. Now, if you look at the dream outcome here, it is what every business professional wants to happen for them. And also it directly addresses their pain points of low deals and hence lack of sales success, right? So in this case, we are saying that, hey, business professionals, we can help you generate high quality leads so that you can close more deals, thus solving the pain problem of low deals, and you can achieve unprecedented sales success, thus solving the pain problem of low sales. Okay. using C. Using C is the delivery mechanism or the vehicle, right? Which is the advanced LinkedIn sales strategy. Now, this is the mechanism in which you'll be able to do B, right? In D, it is the time to value, right? Here we are saying in 60 days or less. Now, the perceived likelihoodness, which we talked about this, right? The perceived likelihoodness of achievement should be covered in the transformative details page, which would be via the testimonials, social proofs, etc. Right? So the offer, which is I help business professionals generate high quality leads so that they can close more deals and achieve unprecedented sales success using advanced LinkedIn sales strategies in 60 days or less. It is a great way of how you yourself can create a transformative offer. Now, always remember, the secret is to make the offer as simple as possible and as attractive as possible so that your target niche finds it relatable. Okay, so this concludes the part one of the LinkedIn client acquisition system. Now, in the part one, the following work you need to do. First is the identifying the niche that you will present your offer, and also note down the basic value proposition. The second is finding that niche on LinkedIn. The third is user persona detailing. The fourth important aspect is figuring out your USP by doing the market research on competitor services and SWOT analysis. And finally, creating a transformative offer using the 4-part offer aspects and bundle the same into the formula of I help A, do B, using C in D, right? So once you have done this, you are through with your part one of the LinkedIn client acquisition system. So guys, I hope you feel totally prepared to implement what you have learned today. And as we all know that knowledge is power, but it is totally useless and at times totally wasted unless you take action on what you have learned. Now, shoot me an email if you have any questions, or if you'd like to fast track your LinkedIn client acquisition experience and convert more of your targeted connection into meetings and sales. You can take up a special offer to have private one-to-one session. Now, here in this session, we'll work on your personal growth game plan and go over exactly what you need to do to create LinkedIn client attraction system so that you can start scaling your business and get many high quality business meetings and sales that you need to hit your own growth and business goals. Click on the button below this video and you can book your one-to-one session right away. I hope you enjoyed today's training and I will catch up with you in the next video.